Alright, what's up y'all? It's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're going over the top 5 2v2 lineups in NBA 2K20. What we're going to do with this list is go straight through from number 5 to number 1. If y'all enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. If we could get this video to 500 likes in the first 24 hours, I'll bring y'all the top 5 3v3 lineups in my opinion as well. But anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into this. If you have any disagreements or any feedback you want to leave as well, feel free to drop a comment. Tell me what your top lineup would be, or if you just think like a certain lineup in here doesn't belong at all, feel free to let me know. I'm open to any suggestions and feedback as well. But anyway, moving along to the top 5 2v2 lineups. Number 5, we have the finisher and play sharp combo. Now, here's my thing about this lineup. If you are bringing a build like this to the 2v2, I think you need to be around 6'5" with it. I'm gonna just put it like that. When you come in here with a build like this and be 6'4" or 6'2" or even 6'1", people are starting to fall in love with too. Bro, I want you to understand, those builds do not belong on the 2v2, and you can never complain about somebody playing bully ball and just taking advantage of you having a 6'1", no defense play sharp on the court. Now, here's the other thing about this build as well. A lot of people would go with like really low defense and just go like super into their finishing, shooting, and playmaking and just max all three of those out and put like any of the loose ends on defense. I really don't understand the thought process behind that in the first place either, but here's what I would recommend to do with this lineup. You could go ahead and make this play sharp, make it 6'5", upgrade all of its defense, go really low on the finishing, maybe upgrade driving dunk still or driving lay, whichever you feel. And it's a very good pair at 6'5" with this build with all your defense upgraded as well. You get 11 defensive badges. You can still like have really good rebound ratings as well. And then on top of that, with the 11 defensive badges too, you could even allow this build to guard the ball handlers in certain situations too. And this is my own build as well. So we're going to speak to the pros and cons of all these like builds and lineups in this video as well, so just stick with me through that too. But this build right here, great perimeter and interior defender, especially interior, so you match up really well with the bigs. If you're going against a team that runs like an outside inside pick and roll offense, this will guard the backside, this will guard the front. You're both gonna be versatile enough to switch on to whoever you want to, and you can just work it that way. And again, with the meta being driving point guards and playmaking defenders, two-way slash plays, playmaking slashers, stuff like that, a build like this is great for interior and perimeter defense, and I just want y'all to keep that in mind. So anyway, moving along, number 4, we have a lineup that would completely take advantage of number 5, and that is the playmaking slasher and the playmaking glass cleaner. So we got the play slash and play glass coming in number 4. So the thing about this lineup, you can just play straight bully ball on offense. I'm talking like, for instance, this lineup right here with the play sharp on the court. They're just going to give it to the dude, whoever has the playmaking sharpshooter on him. And then whoever has the good defensive lockdown on him is just sitting in the corner. You got great spot up shooting from either of these builds with around 10 to 13 shooting badges. This one has 13, this one has 10. And you may see like, you know, popular YouTubers with this. Joe runs this play slash and then Nut runs this playmaking glass cleaner. And it's a great pair. They have like the builds complement each other very well. The lack of defense from this build can be noticed, but depending on what you upgraded, if you get rebounding, you can just leave any on-ball defense to this build right here. You play against any ISO type, you know, lineups, you're not really going to run into this problem. Now, obviously the defense gets a little exposed if you were to play against this exact same lineup, and this build is going to be the target, but y'all get the deal. There's a reason this is at number 4. There's better lineups than this as well. So anyway, moving along, number 3. We have basically the same thing as the playmaking glass cleaner, but just a little bit smaller and at the point guard position. So this is the two-way slash play, two-way slashing playmaker, as y'all mostly know it. So, and then paired with that is a rim sharp. Now, I'm not a big fan of these rim sharps in the first place. I feel like any build above 6'10" can be really noticed at the lack of perimeter defense and just the lack of speed that you have. Maybe backside defense for, you know, hedging and rebounding purposes, but it does complement the two-way slash play very well as far as like, you know, good spacing. Now one thing about this lineup, this build is very hard to stop with its speed, shooting ability, and obviously slashing ability all together, and then it's a great perimeter lockdown. The interior defense is still really good as long as the build's around 6'5", and it's really hard to deal with. Now, if you want to compare it to this lineup right here, I would say the playmaking glass cleaner as a big man provides a lot more to your offense than the rim sharp would. But the thing about this lineup is it's hard to guard any of these builds right here with their speed and shooting ability. And on top of that, this is 2 lockdowns right here. They provide great defense. There's not going to be any mismatch for the builds, you know, in the previous like number 4 lineup to really like target. And on top of that, like I said, just great defensive lineup right here. The spacing that the rim sharp provides is great for the two-way slash play as well. And again, the two-way slash play is just a hard matchup. There's not really too many that can hang with it. But anyway, moving along, number 2. You'd think, like, I know when y'all saw that number 4 lineup, you're like, yo, well, why not just 2 playmaking glass cleaners? It's 2 lockdowns, and they can both, like, you know, run the offense efficiently, and they can both shoot really well, and that's the thing. That's why I have the playmaking slasher with the play glass at number 4. Now here's the thing about this video too. I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent and we'll talk about the number 2 and number 1 lineups in a sec. But I want y'all to really understand the purpose of this video is also gonna be for a lot of variety. Like for instance, when I say a play sharp, the reason I say play sharp is because you could turn that build into 4 different titles. You could turn it into a 3-point playmaker, a playmaking shot creator, a shot creator, you know, just all types of stuff. And I just want you to understand to focus more on the pie chart than the actual player title or anything like that. I do say 2 playmaking glass cleaners in this situation, but again, understand if you wanted to, you could go ahead and shrink this down to 6'5" on one of them, maybe even both of them. I wouldn't recommend that, but I'll just put it like this. If you want to shrink one down to 6'5" in this situation and go with a play, like a 2-way slash play with a play glass, that'd be a crazy lineup too. The reason I say 2 play glasses, just the versatility on defense would be out of this world. You can switch everything. You can, you know, same thing. You can still play bully ball and just give it to whoever has the weak defensive matchup. Or if they have a 7-3 pure rim too, you could give that ball, or you could give the ball to that guy too, because the other thing about this build too, you can really utilize your speed to get open from 3. Now one thing I will say about that, and you'll see why I have this lineup at number 2, is even no matter how good of a shooter you are, it can still be an inefficient shot to just constantly shoot threes on this build. Now, the elite of the elite with this build, like Nut DF that I've talked about in like this video already, is they can constantly spray that thing for 3, but they will still occasionally miss. That is still a thing. Now, again, a thing to mention as well is not everybody is him. Not everybody can just, you know, spray in 65 3-pointer at a very consistent rate. So just keep all that in mind, like I said, when I put this this lineup at number 2, and we're gonna get straight into number 1 and explain why this build, why that is the number 2 lineup. Now, unfortunately, and I really do mean this, unfortunately, this is the number 1 lineup for 2v2 in NBA 2K20. You got the pure lock and the post score. Now, with the post score, you're gonna see maybe a couple different varieties of pie charts where it could be like a pure finisher who's just constantly hook shotting. I think this post score build right here is the best one in the game with the shooting and finishing. Now, here's the other thing too. The shooting badges actually work toward like hook shots as well. Like you could have hot start, hot zone hunter, things like that, range extender, quick draw, all that stuff. It affects your hook shots too. So that's why even if you're just a post hook spamming post score, obviously like the shooting and finishing one is the way to go with, and you still have the post fade in your variety as well. And I'll just put it like this lineup is very hard to stop, and the reason it's very hard to stop is because A, you have that pure lock or pure rim, whichever you want to call it. It doesn't matter which way you want to go with it, but you have that pure lock or pure rim just sitting paint, waiting for rebounds. If you have any lack of height on the court, it's hard to match this. Now, one decent matchup for it would be lineup number 2, where you have the 2 playmaking glass cleaners. But the thing about this is, even at that, the post score is still not going to be the easiest matchup. It will be a decent matchup for you to be able to ISO, but the fact of the matter is you're going to have to be able to green. It just takes more skill for number 2 to be able to beat number 1. It takes more skill because with that said, the post score is going to gap quite a bit. He's going to make that play glass shoot quite a bit, and the fact of the matter is you got to be able to hit open threes at a better rate than the post scorer is going to be able to hit contested hooks. And on top of that, if you miss a wide open 3 with the play glass, it's probably not going to be like an O board. You're probably not going to be able to get the ball back. With this, if you miss a post hook, you have a build that's camping paint that has 99 offensive rebound and 30 defensive badges that obviously are going to be going into rebound chasers, stuff like that. It's just going to be a tough matchup for anybody to deal with. Unfortunately, like I said, this is the number 1 lineup on 2v2. So as we wrap up the video, I want to bring up one more topic before we end it. So if you made it to this point in the video, put lineups in the comments to show your support that you made it to this point in the vid. But I want y'all to really like open your mind a little bit and, not, embody every single topic that your favorite YouTubers ever said about this make it take it versus losers out 2v2. I want y'all to really give some thought as to all these lineups that were on this list, right? And how all of them, literally every single one, is oriented on literally just taking contested inside shots or being able to ISO with a finishing build, like something that has good dunk rating and good stuff like that, and is tall and is built on ISO and dunking. I want y'all to really think about, and matter of fact, we can just run all these back. So boom, number 2, all ISO, all finishing. Number 3, all ISO, all finishing. Number 4, all ISO, all finishing. Number 5 is the only one that is built on pick and roll and actual outside point guards. And I want y'all to really give some thought as to why that is. Now, here's my opinion. Make It Take It allows for builds that are built around 2-point shots and inefficient shots, or super efficient, if you will, as well when it comes to the ISO. But anyway, you get the deal. Whatever it may be, 2v2 is built around builds that can finish because it's just, that's what it's for. Now, a lot of people like to say, oh, I'll lose to anybody, or I could lose to bums on losers out, like, you know, 2v2, or I don't know what the actual term is. Maybe it's winners out. Anyway, you get the deal. When you transfer the ball back and forth between, you know, from team to team, and each team gets like the same amount of possessions, essentially, I want y'all to really think about what that would do for 2v2. So you got a lot more 3-point oriented builds and a lot more actually working together in pick and roll, maybe, or pick and pop to get 3-point shots. Now, again, I'm just saying, I'm just bringing up a topic. I want y'all to let me know and leave some feedback on what you think of that topic right there, as to what, like, you know, transferring the ball back and forth. We'll call it losers out, okay? I don't know if that's the actual term. I'm not putting any thought into it right now. But let me know what y'all think of losers out 2v2, and if you're completely against it. But again, just keep in mind, Make It Take It allows for lineups like these, the playmaking slash and the play glass, or the two-way slash play, to just constantly rule things, or the playmaking glass, like you could run 2 of these and boom, all problem solved, because you can just take efficient 2-point shots. This one, you can take inefficient 2-point shots, still have cleanup duty right here, and this lineup is never going to get a 3-point shot up, ever. Like 0 times out of 0, okay? Just keep that in mind. Like, literally never it's looking for 3s, and I just want y'all to keep that in mind. But anyway, like I said, just a little review as to like what the list looked like. I want y'all to keep that in mind. But anyway, if you made it to this point of the video, put 2v2 in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way to the end. But anyway, like I said, there's your review of the top 5 in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think, and feel free to drop any more comments or your feedback as well, based on what you would put on this list or what you would put at number 1. I feel like number 1 is pretty much undebatable though. I mean, that's literally just the most unstoppable lineup in the game. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you made it to the very end of the vid, put 2v2 in the comments. And like I said, if we could get this to 500 likes in the first 24 hours, I'll bring y'all the top 5 3v3 lineups as well. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.